So Nicole,
Hello.
what movie did we watch?
Barbie Swan Lake, and we have a guest star.
Guest star.
Here she is.
Shannon Nicholson.
Okay, so let me start by saying, as a kid, this was my least favorite Barbie movie because it's so
We'd only
boring.
seen 3 though.
That's true. I had only seen these 3.
So
Two famous villains.
2 famous villains.
So the Rothbart, the evil man, is played by Kelsey Grammer.
He does very well.
Odile, who's the evil daughter of the evil man, is played by, what's her name?
Oh, I don't know her name.
The woman who plays Janice in Friends.
She's in a lot of stuff though.
She has
I
a
can't
very
know her
annoying
name 'cause
voice.
You're holding my phone.
Well, that's true.
I don't think her voice is that annoying usually.
No,
she
but
was...
in this movie, she really played it up.
Mm-hmm.
She had a look. Shannon, do you want to talk about it?
Look. Feathers sticking off her shoulders, and it was very like goth, but not too goth.
Goth, but a bird.
Goth, but also bird.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Odile was a high point, even though she was also a low point.
Yeah, that's true.
Everything Odile said was amazing, but also
Her
her
voice is
voice.
so
The best
annoying.
part of this
sad.
movie was the shot where Odile went behind the prince and then
Came back out as
Yeah,
so
that was
dead.
the best shot.
I really did not like how Rothbart's nose was the size of a literal beak.
It was
off
so
of his
much.
face. It was too much.
It was.
It was too much.
It was way too much. Positives. Odette had an actual personality.
Yes, and it was different than Barbie's personality.
Yes. She was like timid and then she learned to be brave.
You just have to be brave enough to look inside yourself.
And not be a swan anymore. There's a dragon
would
in
not.
Rapunzel who
And
looks
in-
exactly like the unicorn in this movie.
Yeah.
So Lila is like Penelope but sassier and
Yeah.
she's not afraid of anything. Yeah, at the beginning Odette was like, I can't be as brave as you, and
Lila's
Lila's like, yeah, not likely, or something like
She's
that.
like, well, no, but...
And then 30 seconds later, she's telling the bad guy that, like, yeah, Odette's gonna murder
Kick
you.
your ass.
The queen is iconic. The queen is like, okay, the queen is like 30 to 40, and she's like, oh, my 16-year-old son, soon I'll be too, I'm so tired.
I'm so tired.
I want to
Soon
spend
you'll
my
have to take
golden
over the
years with my
kingdom."
grandchildren. Get a wife. His opening scene is almost exactly the like character-defining scene of the Prince and the Swan Princess.
When did the Swan Princess come out?
1994, so like...
Yeah, well, this was way later. My favorite line in this movie is when they get the globe that's not a globe, it's like a cube, and his friend goes, there's danger at every corner, you go too far, you fall right off.
My favorite line in this movie was like, I don't like to rush around. It's bad for the digestion.
Ingrid, let's talk about the people that they have reused models for. Frederick from the
Frederick
last
from-
movie showed up in this one.
Yeah.
His face did,
He's the
not
one
his
who
body.
looks like the king from both the kings, but merged from
From
Sleeping
Sleeping
Beauty.
Beauty. I haven't talked about Skunk Girl yet. So,
Okay.
all the elves are Kelly dolls, but they're like adults, but they look like children because they're
That
Kelly
was
dolls.
very
It's very
uncomfortable.
disconcerting.
They
They have this
become
weird
children,
romance.
Like 20 seconds after the skunk tells the story of like, and then I told the guard, like, come over here, I've got something for you. Like shaking her hips, and then she's a
She
literal
turns into a
child.
She's Spanish because of course she is.
She looks exactly like Kelly, but with black hair. Except Spanish
The
instead
Kelly
of
dolls
French.
are our favorite part of the movie. I think it's
Always.
safe to say. The Fox Girl is adorable.
Fox Girl is my favorite.
She got no
I had the doll of her, and she was so good.
She never spoke, she just danced and was amazing.
There's a lot of
Mouse
dancing,
Girl
'cause
also
they're
had
like-
a highlight when she was drumming.
Oh yeah, she was showing up. So they do a lot of dancing because they're like, it's Swan Lake, it's a ballet, we're gonna put in more Swan Lake music, and then at the end they do the famous quartet thing.
Well, they're not kids, whatever. They turn
Elves.
into animals in the daytime.
Elves.
And so does Odette now because she's a swan.
The swan that has Barbie's face still somehow.
MacGuffin-y stuff in this
Was
movie.
there,
Which,
really?
well, yeah, there was like a book and a leaf and a crown and all this stuff.
The troll guy supposedly is going to set a precedent. Supposedly things that we're going to see recurring.
Yeah. So
The troll man.
The troll man. There's
The
always a
evil
troll
house.
man who has a load of knowledge, and this is our first villain house. because the first two we just had the castle and then the villain lived in like a castle. Let's talk about the ratio of glitter transformations in this movie.
There were so many. She had to turn into a swan. She had to turn back into a human. Fairy lady had to turn back and forth into magical and not magical, and Glinda.
And all of them had to turn
They
into
all had
humans.
to turn into animals and humans, and then Odette got a new dress, and then her new dress turned into a tutu dress, and then Fairy Queen's dress turned into a tutu dress.
Yeah.
And they turned into birds and back into... There were so many. Probably 30% of this
studio-
movie was just glitter transformation.
That
And
was
then
all of the budget.
the prince had two
prince had
outfits.
two
They had so much money this time.
What did we learn from this movie?
We learned that Kelly is glad that Odette didn't have to be a swan.
Okay, so here's Kelly's
The frame story.
Kelly's
And
framing.
she's
like,
gonna run a race.
they're camping or something. She's on, I think
She's like on a Girl Scout trip or something.
and she's gonna race tomorrow, but she's scared and she wants to go
What
home.
kind of race?
We don't know.
It's a race.
It's a race.
I have no. She's like,
She always
look
has
up
a
in
story.
the sky.
Oh, yeah.
What do you see?
Do you see those 4 little stars that are lined up? And Kelly's like, sort of. It's a swan.
It's a swan. There was a girl named Odette who turned into a swan,
And then they
she
show her
tells
in the
this
town, and she's
story.
like dancing, and Kelly's like,
Oh yeah,
she doesn't look like a swan or something like
Yeah.
that.
Well, she
She's like,
wasn't
well,
at
not
first.
yet.
And no, there was a
And then
bit
they're gonna eat cookies.
raisin or something. There was my favorite, and she's like, make a chocolate chip. That's my favorite.
And she's like, okay, chocolate chip. And then Odette eats the chocolate chip, and she's like, chocolate chip.
But she never comes back. See, that was the thing I was disappointed in, because I was like, oh my god, Kelly might be changing the story now.
Yep, no,
like-
just chocolate chip
But
cookies.
imagine if
That's
they
all
had
that
it,
mattered
like,
to
halfway
her.
through, she was like, oh, and it seemed like everything all was lost. And Kelly went, it can't be. She's got to do this because she's
And
got to be
then Barbie
brave.
could be
And
like,
then-
yeah, she should. Kelly should have more agency in these stories, guys. The moral of it is that Kelly was going to run in her race because Odette didn't have to be a swan
No, she
anymore.
said-
it was so
she said-
weak. They didn't even do the
And
she was brave enough to follow her dreams. They did nothing. She was just like, I'm really glad that Odette's not a swan anymore. I guess I'm going to run in my race tomorrow.
Animation has gotten slightly better.
It has. They did water in this movie.
Yeah. She
lot
had a
of
different
water.
face. Or a better face.
She did some expressions when Odile was disguised as Odette.
Yeah,
we
she
saw
was
some
evil.
like Barbie grimaces.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Best part of the movie is Foxgirl. Best
Yes,
scene in
obviously.
the movie is the dance, and specifically that one transition where she goes past him.
And
And-
the globe.
Shannon, what was your
Shannon, what is your takeaway
impression
from this movie?
after not seeing any Barbie movies before?
It was really bad. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you for joining
Thank
us
you for
today
joining us
on
today.
We Watch Barbie. Goodbye.